Hello, this is Spellbinding Gamer as a guest on Marky Dragon's channel, and I'm here with SMITE. This is a preview of the character Ra, who is the god of the sun in Egyptian mythology. And SMITE is a Dota-style game. You have your jungle area, your lanes, and your creeps and minions that go down those lanes. And you basically face off against other gods. And this is me doing a 1v1 against a computer player. So this is just a look at this god, and you can see how the game plays. It is very well, very nice graphic style, which is always nice to have. You have your basic attack that does no mana. Some classes it is ranged, some classes you have to be right up close. Every time you gain a level, you gain a talent, which is usually automatically put as a skill point. And you can level up your skills. You can turn auto level off, so you can pick your skills, but I normally just leave them on. And you also get gold for every kill, which gives you the ability to buy items in the game. There's his third skill. Heals the allies and does damage to enemies, which is always nice.
The heat bears down upon you.
Put a bit of damage over time there. Do some damage here, and that's his other ability. It puts a debuff stack on the enemy that reduces their movement speed, while and then after the time is over, it damages them at the same time. So it's good for keeping an enemy close to you if they're trying to get away, or keeping an enemy away from you as you're trying to escape. Now Ra has one of the best passive abilities, which every time you cast an ability, it puts a stack of a buff on you. You can have up to 3 stacks, and with every stack, your movement speed is increased by 10%, 20%, and then 30%. So it's very nice to have for getting away. That's why Ra is one of the best caster classes, in my opinion, because he can get away in the middle of preventing from being ganked in a lane by several other gods or such. Every ability in this game is a skill shot, so there is no targeting. The only targeting that you have is when you cast a spell, and you'll see a line on the ground to where the spell will travel. Or you have an ability like this, which is just basically you have to be near your opponent for it to activate. Now I'm going to hit my B button here and recall back to the base, which will heal my mana and health, and I can buy an item. I like to buy the items that will give me stacks when I kill enemies that permanently increase my stats by a certain amount. This one, every time I kill an enemy, I gain 1 stack as a buff that is not lost on death, so even if you die, you'll keep your stacks of buffs, and every stack gives me 0.5 magic damage and 2 health and 2 mana, which is very nice. Now your fourth ability, as any class, is called your ultimate. Most classes ultimate have a very long cooldown, like that, 68-second cooldown, which is probably 70-second cooldown actually. But it does a huge amount of damage compared to your other attacks. So it's a great finisher or an opener. So you can take down a god's health very quickly. Now the thing about this, when you go up against towers, you can only hurt them with your normal attack ability. You cannot hurt them with skills.
The heat bears down
It
upon
does no damage to them, as I showed there. So it gives you it gives the enemy gods or you time to rush and defend your towers from being completely destroyed. Now, Ra here is a great class for soloing lanes and even surviving multiple god ganks, because not only has a speed buff, but he puts that healing ring on the ground that enemies usually try to avoid being in because it damages them, and he has the ability to slow the enemy's movement speed down while increasing his own. That makes for very easy getting away. He can also one-shot at a certain level. He can one-shot lane mobs, which are the mobs that the creeps that are running down the lane towards you. Those guys that almost hit me there. There, now I can start getting stacks now that I have the third tier of that item. His number one ability that you start with, his ray from the sky, as I like to call it, can usually one-shot a whole entire lane of enemy creeps, so it's usually a good idea to level that up as much as possible if you don't have auto level on,
the heat bears down
because you will be using that spell more than anything. It's a very high damage ability. Oh, looks like he got away. See if we can pull off some damage. Seems we can do some damage to this Phoenix, but probably not killing it. Seems I also did some damage to that mana core over there. See if I can kill him. Oh, nope, he's gonna run off. Alright then. Unless you're not gonna try to run to base. Okay then. I managed to kill the god, and if you kill enemy gods, which probably isn't too advisable near the beginning of the game, you gain a lot of experience and gold towards your character, so it's a very good boost to your level and your item gain. And it also really messes the enemy team up, because as the match goes on, your respawn timers get longer and longer, so if you end up killing the enemy gods quite a bit, or you end up dying, either team can get really badly messed up because they're down a player and you get behind in levels quite a bit. So it's very easy to continually get killed. So it's advisable to be careful when you're playing. There we go. Killed him off. Wasn't too hard to take a little damage, but I can heal that up. My spell here. Ra is one of the only classes I can self-heal, I think, out of the 15 or so gods, if I remember right. Ra is one of 3 that can heal themselves and others. So he is one of the ones that you want to have on your team. Going head to head with this mana core here, doing quite a bit of damage to him. There we go. See, took out a whole lane of creeps there as they spawned, and I killed him off. That's the enemy main guardian. That is the one you need to protect on your side, because once the enemy kills him, it's game over. Or if you end up killing them, it's also game over, but you end up winning, of course. Then now there is also the jungle area. Oh, right, and when you kill the enemy phoenix, the phoenixes do respawn after a short time, but during the time they are down, your minions gain flaming weapons, so they have more health, more defense, and more damage. And usually if left alone, they can actually end up killing the Minotaur on their own. The thing I like about that light spell is you can continue to use other spells while it's being cast. So say I have that light buff up, and then I'm using that, and I can still use the other spells while I'm using it. So it gives Ra a huge advantage over some other gods. The two buffs I just picked up were a mana regeneration and a defense buff, which increases my main defense. This one right here is a reduced cooldown buff, which, as the name suggests, it reduces the cooldown of all your skills by 20%. So say your ultimate skill is 70 seconds long, it'll be reduced by like 8 seconds or so. I don't know. My math is horrible probably. I probably got that totally wrong. Another thing I like about Ra that is totally off topic and not the main reason you should choose him is I have to say he is one of the best voice acted characters in the game. I have almost all the buffs now. Movement speed increase, damage, cooldown reduced, mana regeneration, defense, and this one is health regeneration. There we go. Now I have all the buffs, even though I only have 10 seconds left on one of them, which is alright. Also, killing the jungle minions gives you and possibly your party, depending on which ones you kill, a significant boost in experience and gold, and is always advisable to go up against them.
Your team has destroyed a middle enemy phoenix. The heat bears down upon you.
Oh, might actually be able to take out this guardian now. Nope, he's after me. I'm out. See, my movement speed is very high since I casted a bunch of spells in a row. See if we can pull off some damage. The thing I like is you can just go like that with Ra, and it won't aggro the Minotaur for some odd reason. It's probably something they will fix eventually, as this game is still in beta. I can do like that. Boom. There we go. And I believe this is a good game. So there you go. There's a first look at the character Ra. As for items for Ra, I like to go for a full damage build, as his natural MP and HP as he levels is fairly high. And as a caster class, you don't really need defense all that much. And this is Spellbinding Gamer, and click the link in the annotations, and I'll see you at my channel.